Now, one of the most overlooked factors in putting is grip pressure. Now, you might say, Andy, I don't worry about it. I hold it like a bird with a broken wing or a tube of toothpaste without the cap on. Fine. But where is your control when you do that? Because if it hasn't escaped your notice, the ball generally doesn't start on the right line, does it? And if it did, you're probably not watching. So I'm glad you're watching because I'm here to help. It's Andy Gorman, the pass, the putting and short game specialist. And I'm here because I'm passionate to help you improve your putting. I'm going to tell you things that other folk won't tell you. But if we're going to control the putts, then we've got to control the club face. And that means speed as well as direction. And invariably the direction is the issue, but speed is a big deal. Who knew that the smash factor is a thing not just for the driver, but also for the putter? So as you increase your club head speed, the smash factor will go up on the ball. Not because you hit it better, albeit you might, but because you've increased the speed. And that's transferred more energy into the back of the ball. The other thing that can increase your smash factor is the firmness of your grip. I said firmness, not lightness of your grip. Now, of course, if you want to go ahead and hold this golf club, as you can see down the line, you can see that we're holding the golf club with a grip pressure that is not exactly forceful, firm, or tight, but one that is barely holding the weight of the club. Now, the challenge that we've got here, I've got a putter that's got 350 grams of head weight. I've got a shaft in the middle, which technically is around 120 grams. That's what it weighs before we trim it down a little bit. And then I've got an 85 gram grip. So just bear with me if I said that we had 120 through here and an 80 gram grip with 350 grams here. Good maths will tell you that we're on 550 grams. But of course, that's the total weight of the club. That's a swinging weight of the club. And now I need some grip pressure to be able to support that. If you left me here in an hour, I might be struggling to be able to control the weight of that club. So I don't want to be letting the club swing between my legs. It would be dangerous for a start, but ultimately it would have no control on the club. So crucial for setting up to find your grip pressure would be holding the club level with the ground and just support the weight. We don't want it to start to fall. We don't want the wrists to be changing angles. We certainly don't want to be or feel the need that we have to ulnar deviate here. So we're lifting the forearms up to get that. Look, this is not a naturally relaxed position to be in. Ulnar deviation, this forward flexion of the wrist, is not a relaxed position. Arms free, no tension, just enough pressure to support the weight of the club. Now the shaft plane is pointing right at my elbow. It's not running up the forearms. I don't need to do this because I'm not fighting the golf club closing at the point of impact. So essentially, when we get set up with the grip pressure locked in, the shaft pointing very slightly forward so that the shaft's pointing towards my left ear, from here, I now have the optimum grip pressure to be able to control the club face. With a decent stroke, I can send the golf ball on its way with a nice speed. If I increase the grip pressure, I don't know why we would do that. Maybe I do. But if I was to increase the grip pressure, the golf ball potentially would come off the club face a lot quicker. The energy transfer is greater. The smash factor has increased. Now, if I put my GC quad down here, you could subtract the club head speed and the ball speed. But as you can clearly see, boy, has that run on a long way. But if I was to do my Ben Crenshaw impression, and I'm not going to stand off to the side, look, I've got the utmost admiration for the Ben Crenshaws of this world, but my word, when he said that he held the golf club so it felt like it's falling out of his fingers, you know, barely able to get that golf club to come back on the ball, there is not a lot of smash factor in that putt. Now, of course, if you're putting down the 9th green at Augusta, one of those second Saturdays or Sundays in April, then you may need to roll it at that sort of speed. So grip pressure could be lightened in your favour, and it has gone reasonably straight, of course. So I can still gain some control, but that's maybe going to work really well on a speed of green that's running at 14. Not necessarily the same speed that we're going to be playing on at our local municipal or even our private club. So, you know, the grip pressure itself does need to firm up a little. The beauty about that is that I can also use it for controlling distance on uphill and downhill putts without changing the length of my stroke too much. Now, I'm diving into the challenges that come with playing around with grip pressure and transferring energy at a slightly different rate. But of course, if it is downhill and you're a little bit concerned about it and, you know, we've got a 2% downhill putt, then just loosening your grip pressure very slightly. So if I'm here supporting and that's my 5 to 6, maybe a 5.5, if I'm in this position here and I just drop the club down a fraction, there, just loosen the pressure so the club head starts to drop, then maybe that's a 5. Now drop it a little bit more. That's a 4.5. These are differences. Does that change the energy that goes into the ball? Yeah, it does, definitely. And it means that the 10-foot rollout that I would ordinarily get isn't happening. It's close enough, accurate enough to deliver the face, but it's transferring a little less energy. Now, again, hold the putter nice and level to ground, and then from there, increase the pressure slightly. Now, of course, you're not going to see too much change, but look at what's happening to the club head. By increasing the grip pressure, there's a little adjustment in my wrist. The putter head's actually rising. If I transfer that now into a stroke, that ball's come off a little quicker. It's rolled about 18 inches further than the previous putt. Also disappeared a little bit to the right-hand side. But let's not worry too much about direction at the moment. We can hone that in, but we've transferred some different energy. Now, that just might be the difference between us going a little uphill and a little bit downhill. If that's worth practicing, and it is, if that's worth practicing, then that's definitely something for you to have got value out of this lesson, because by changing your grip pressure, finding your comfort zone, finding your 5, 5.5 if you will, your support and control pressure, increase the grip pressure, lifts the putter. Just that little bit of squeeze, especially in, it's both thumbs by the way, but definitely just lifts the putter up. Take the pressure away. Back to my 5, take a little bit away. Putter's just starting to drop. From there, I can transfer a little less energy. It's a foot shorter than the hole. I've got another one a foot longer than a hole. I've changed the grip pressure and it's changed the outcome. That's something for you to practice to determine whether or not it's going to work for you and which of those grip pressures are going to work for you. But what I don't want is the one grip pressure that's then going to be also lagging and lying around. Now, of course, you won't do that because you're far smarter than that. But ultimately, what we don't want to be doing is getting laggy and changing the angles coming back to the ball, because the face is open here if you haven't noticed, right? We're not controlling anything with regards to speed with any consistency unless we're able to control it through the chest rotation and making sure, if you've seen the previous video, that the handle travels half the distance of the club head. So from here, ultimately where we're at, grip pressure, I can check it. This is the beauty about this. I can check it when I get horizontal. Great, grip pressure up, down, nice and relaxed. Now from there, I'd expect this one to go out at the 10. Ideal, just a little bit quicker there. I just felt there's a slightly quicker stroke, but that's just because I was playing around with the grip pressures. Practice it, get used to it. That's going to give you a real good feedback from your practice when you go out and play. I hope you've liked that video. If you do, please like it and please do subscribe. You won't miss any of the videos. Like I said, I'm passionate about helping you, and on that basis, I don't want you to miss anything that's coming ahead, because we've got a bucket full of putting tips, and then we've got the short game. I'll see you next time.